Welcome to the cave, boys and girls, and you'd better have your chainsaws at the ready, because today we are going back to the horror genre and we are looking at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Ultimate Leatherface from NECA. The box and the packaging of this figure. Now you have a nice big clear window. This is preferable for those of you who like to keep their figures in the box and are able to actually display them like this. Then you have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and 40th anniversary and NECA logo on the side. Then to the back of the box there's a little interesting read for you. I will not go through this as it might take a while and you might have better things to do in the meantime. Something I do like is that the box looks like it's been stitched by leather, which is quite interesting. It would be something like nearly as Leatherface's mask, and that's quite interesting. Again, the other side is the same, and to the front we have the iconic movie poster and of course who will survive and what will be left of them on the poster right there. On the open cover we have a nice big picture of the figure. So let's get into it and have a closer look at Leatherface. Leatherface is out of his packaging, and as usual NECA treats us very well with a high amount of detailing and a lot of accessories that come with the figure. The figure itself does look pretty good at first sight. Now what I always also want to tell you is that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 40-year anniversary Leatherface Ultimate figure is brought to you by NECA, and it was first released on August 2015. Since then there have been multiple releases, so you have the chance to get this guy, and it will still probably be released again in the near future. But until then, it's about time we go and have a look at those cool accessories right there. First accessory we are having a look, it's a mallet. It's a rather clean mallet, no sight of blood on it, and it does have a nice metal grain finish and cool metal texture to the end of it. Nothing really more to tell than that. It looks pretty good. Leatherface might use it to mice some meat and, I don't know, crush some bones maybe. But yeah, it's a pretty pristine looking equipment for Leatherface. The next accessory Leatherface here comes with, it's a cleaver. It's a nice big looking cleaver, and something interesting about it is the handle. The handle does seem to have an interesting wood grain to it, and that makes it look very well. It looks very good in my opinion. The cleaver does not miss any details. It does have a nice metal grain to the blade. It does have the tiny hole for which you can actually mount it to a wall stand. When Leatherface is not using it, he can keep his trusty cleaver and be organized. And there seems to be a tiny piece of metal missing from it, and it all comes together very nicely into a very good looking accessory. On the side of the smaller accessories Leatherface comes with, it's this tiny knife. I think this is something he would use to clean the meat from the bones. It looks rather well made. I love the detailing on the blade, the scratches that this knife actually has been used. I also like the fact that the handle seems to me it's made out of bone, and also those little rivets very nicely represented there. For such a tiny accessory, this knife looks amazing. Another accessory Leatherface comes with, it's a meat hook. It seems to be a pretty long meat hook. In this case, plenty of blood at the end here, at the business end, let's say. It does seem to have some resistance to it. Maybe it's not that much of a fragile piece. Uh, yeah, it's a pretty much standard long meat hook, I would say. It does seem that it has seen some action. It's not really that sharp, so then there is not really the case that you would actually get hurt or anything on this accessory. When it comes to going down to business, Leatherface always chooses his trusty saw, and I know you all been looking forward to this particular accessory. The saw looks very, very nicely done. There's plenty of blood on the blade, there's some blood splattered all over the chainsaw's body. Also, there is a good amount of detailing to the chainsaw's body itself, and you can see even some metal scrapes where the paint on the chainsaw has been worn off and the metal shows through the yellow paint. Again, blood splattered all over the chainsaw's body, and I do believe it's really, really nice looking. This chainsaw looks amazing, it is movie accurate, and it will look very, very good in Leatherface's hands right there. Yet another accessory Leatherface comes with. It's an alternate head. Now this time it does seem it had a woman victim, let's say. It's very nicely detailed, and what I do like is that the base is supposed to be skin on top of his face. It's actually soft. It's made out of softer rubbery plastic, and you can see very nice detailing such as the stitches on the side. You can also see again stitches on the mouth here, on the other side of the neck, and you can see there is a high amount of detailing going on to the hair on this poor woman's head, let's say, or I don't know, skin mask that she has become. And you can notice that behind the gruesome mask Leatherface put together here, you can see the details of his actual face. You have the ears popping out through there. You can also see some of his teeth and lips, and of course the eyes through the holes that he actually done in the face of this woman, and she turned her into a mask. And I believe it looks really interesting, a gruesome sight to see, but nonetheless cool because it's very nicely detailed and exceptionally done in such a way that only I think NECA could deliver at this price range. Now that we have seen all the accessories Leatherface comes with, it's actually time to have a closer look at Leatherface himself. And the figure looks pretty well done. Again, we have a face full of detailing. Again, the skin on top of his face does seem to be this type of soft rubbery material, and that's very good because it emulates the way actually a skin mask would look on his face. Again, we can see those sweet details beneath the mask to his actual face, the ears, again the amazing hair sculpt right there. Now at the figure level, we have all the joints that you would actually expect from an ultimate version from NECA. And something really interesting is that his apron, it's actually material. It's an interesting kind of textile feeling material. It feels a bit rubbery on the outside, and that's good because it does feel like it would be an apron that would be used by a butcher. And we have, again, pretty nice detailing going on to his sweater here, all those sweater lines, the actual fabric in the sweater is nicely represented, and overall we have a beautiful looking figure in detail. Now if you've been wondering, the apron is removable, and we will have a look at that right away. Just as I have promised you, before we take a look at the articulation on this figure, we will have a quick look at the removable apron. And as I told you, this does seem to be removable, as it is tied to his back. It's a simple way to remove it, if it's not tied in a knot, and it won't be coming out of the box for sure. And you can simply just take it off his head. And there you have it, Leatherface without the apron. Not much detailing going on in the lower section of this figure, as it would usually be covered by the apron. And I would also think there would be no other way that I would actually display him than with the apron on him. Anyways, as I was talking a bit earlier, this butcher's apron does seem to have a rubbery feel to the touch. It does seem to be some sort of fabric, but it's really nice because it has this rubbery touch and it would really feel like something like a butcher's apron. Also, as you might notice, there's plenty of blood scattered all around his apron. Now, to go a bit through the articulation of this figure, I will just leave the apron to the side here, and I will shortly go through the articulation. As you might have guessed it, there's a ball joint to the head of the figure. Again, there's a soft rubbery feel to his clothes, even under the apron, as it again seems to be that kind of rubbery plastic going on to his clothes. Then hands, again, universal ball joints, of course, they go all the way 360 if you would like that. They can also go up a fair amount. There's a fair amount of swivel going on there. Same goes for both hands. Then you get an elbow movement, quite about close to 90 degrees, I'd say. On that, hands seem to be attached on ball joints again. Plenty of movement in the hands. And same goes for the other hand as well. Overall, very nice articulation in the hands of this figure. Going down to the feet, again, we have, there's also torso rotation. His pants seem to have, again, that type of rubbery material to them. Going to the feet, again, universal ball joints to the feet. Plenty of movement, as it comes with this brand new line of Ultimate figures. Then, to his knees, we have a bend. We have rotation to his knees as well. And going down to his feet, we also have rotation, and they do seem to be placed on ball joints. I would say that overall this figure has, if not excellent articulation, the kind of articulation you would guess you would have from any type of Ultimate release from NECA. Coming down to final thoughts and conclusions about this figure, there are so many things well made that I can give you only a single advice, and that is get him. For a 7-inch figure, you will not be able to get something better than this anytime soon, I'm telling you. And I do believe that NECA did an extremely well done job with Leatherface here. There's just so many things that are well done. The sculpt looks very good. The paint looks awesome. The removable apron, it's also again a very nice addition to this figure. There's plenty of detailing, weathering, the accessories look just right, the skin looks just right, and overall I do believe this is an awesome figure. NECA delivered in a big way. So the only thing I can tell you, if you are a horror fan, or maybe if you are just a fan of NECA figures, then go out and get him. That's a must, because this is a very, very well done figure. It's more than worth the price, I would say. You do get a very high amount of accessories with him, and you get a beautiful looking figure. And what else can I say? Leatherface is great. NECA did an excellent job. So whenever, if you get the occasion, just because you like the movie, just because maybe you like the NECA 7-inch scale figures, or maybe you just think it looks cool and you might think, I might get this guy, you know what, go ahead and get him. You'll see for yourself how awesome this figure really is. And to come to an end, I give you a quick pre-pose, let's say, that I put it up together, of course with this trusty chainsaw. That would be the only way I would actually display him anyways in my collection. And remember, the chainsaw is family. And as a final thought, we are looking at an amazing figure. You should definitely get it. Don't remember, until next time, keep on collecting, and if you do like the content here on the Collector's Cave, click that subscribe button, show some love with a like to this video, and keep on track with the next videos that are coming your way right here in the Collector's Cave.